Good morning, everyone, and happy Wednesday. And of course, we're going live, and already one of my streams is saying it's not working. So,
Of course.
good morning, Kim. How are
Good
you?
morning. I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'll fix this Facebook thing in a moment. But for now, I'm Nancy Quinn, business coach and body language trainer to interior designers, and I am here with Kim Vanderpool of Fresh Impact to talk about how to reignite I'm going to say your love for marketing, right? Because it's kind of annoying most of the time.
Right. Well, and it's Valentine's Day this week, so it's perfect topic for the week of love.
That is true. That is true. All right, let me see if I can get us working on Facebook while you get us going. So, all right, talk to us about what we need to do to fall back in love with our marketing. Because I always simplify it. I say the minute you start marketing, if you actually get a client from your marketing, suddenly you'll like it more.
Correct. That's true. And what we'll be talking about a lot today is about how we're overcomplicating marketing. If we can give you some tips of just how to simplify it, then maybe you will enjoy loving it again. And one of the things that I hear a lot is, are you there, Nancy? Because you froze.
I am here.
Okay. All of a sudden I'm not seeing you. And it's like, I just don't want to be talking to the air. So
okay, no, I'm here. We might be having a little internet issue, but I am here.
Okay. What I hear a lot is I know I need to market, but it feels exhausting. Or we get online and it's so exciting, and then all of a sudden it turns to obligation. And so the problem isn't necessarily the marketing. It's just that the marketing doesn't necessarily fit the way that you work or that you think. And so what we want to do is kind of reset that relationship with marketing. And so one of the reasons, let's talk a little bit about why do designers specifically fall out of love with marketing. And some of the main things is that we try to keep up with trends that don't necessarily align with the way that we do business or our personality. We feel like we have to post constantly. We don't. We'll talk about that. We create content. It's amazing when people come into the club, how many times they create content to create content, but the content doesn't sound like them at all. If you met them in person in real life, you would it's a messaging misalignment. Or that we're measuring our success by likes instead of inquiries. And that's what we really want to look at.
So like vanity measures as opposed to real business.
I had someone, we posted a reel and nobody liked it or didn't show very much. Okay. But are you getting any inquiries from your marketing? That's what matters. And not necessarily like someone's inquiring from the Instagram platform, but were you out networking in an in-person event, or somebody recommended you locally and they went to check your Instagram and they found out that you are alive, you're viable, they understood who you are, and then they inquiry. That is the magic of how social media works. So when our marketing isn't aligned to who we are as business owners or as people, that's when we get that resistance, and that's when we get that, I don't like marketing. And so we just want to think about how can we make marketing more aligned with who we are as people. So good marketing doesn't mean you have to post every day, doesn't mean you have to go viral, it doesn't mean you have to be everywhere. What you need to do is you need to be recognizable, be clear about what you do and who you are serving, who is your ideal client. This is even more important now than it was even 6 months ago, especially we get a lot of inquiries like, I needed SEO. Everyone's so afraid of SEO. And really, it's just good keywords and making sure that people know where you are and who you're working for.
And consistently updating your platforms.
Right. But with SEO and with the AI working together now, it's even more important that your messages are very clear. I can't tell you how many designers, even businesses, that I'll go to the Instagram, it'll say, serving empty nesters. And I'll go to Facebook and it'll say, your interior designer, making your home beautiful. And then LinkedIn will say something different.
Generic, specific, and everyone's confused.
Right. And so we need you to make sure that your Google business profile about section, your LinkedIn company about section, your personal LinkedIn, if you are the designer that owns the business, Instagram and Facebook all have the same keywords that match on your website so that you build that trust and that relevance, because otherwise it's confusing them. It's confusing all the algorithm, the online stuff, and nobody's going to be able to find you. And so that's one takeaway that you take away from everything today is that making sure that your message is aligned so that you are recognizable. People want to know who you help, how you help, and what it's like to work with you.
I always go back to my exercise called Your Business in Words. It's 4 sentences and it satisfies everything Kim just said. And it's free on my website, Profit Insiders Coaching, if you're looking for it. We switched it this week. So yeah, I mean, to me, when I look on someone's website or their social media, I want location, who you are, who you serve.
Right, right. And a good test is if you took just one of your posts, your social media post, would someone that saw that understand what you do and who you're for? And so if it's not, then we need to tweak it. Not that you're doing it wrong. We just need to tweak it. That's the message that we want to get to. And so we don't necessarily, everyone's like, oh, I need more content. I need no more content. No, we need repeatable content. We need that same message said 10, 20 different ways. That's where ChatGPT comes in. It will help us. It'll give us the pathway that we need. So what helps for designers, if we can create like 3 or 4 content lanes that you can just rotate behind. So your work, which would be your projects, your process, your details, your thinking, your design decisions, your opinions, and your education. The third one would be your experience. So client stories, lessons learned. Why did that client hire you, and what did you transform in their home? Those are big things. People want to be able to identify themselves in that story that you're telling. And then the last one be your invitation. I cannot tell you how many times I will audit designers' Instagram, and there is not one invitation in the whole feed that says, how do I work with you? Like, let them know how to work with you. Let's simplify it instead of complicate it. You don't necessarily need to be on every single new diet there is. We need the basics: protein, carbs, and fat. and that's what we need to think when it comes to marketing. And one thing that we all struggle with is we don't need to connect with the entire internet. We just need to create and connect with the client that we want to attract.
Yes.
Or our future clients. And so taking that pressure off that I need to have 20,000 followers. Well, what if you live in a community that only has 5,000 people? That makes, unless you're doing virtual design, take the pressure off.
Right. It's the quality of the follows. It's not the number.
Correct. Because when you're putting out real posts that represent who you are, the work you do, the client that you want to attract, that speaks for itself. And that's better than any number that you're going to get for vanity numbers.
Yes. So part of falling back in love with your marketing is just go back to basics and stop complicating it.
Correct. Yes. When you think about like Valentine's Day, some people love the big old concerts and dinners and things like that. Others of us are okay with just having maybe a steak on the grill and a glass of wine at home.
Yeah. And a card, right? Yeah. It's like, it doesn't have to be complicated.
Correct. And so when you think about that with your marketing too. Some people, if they're wanting to be an influencer, there are some designers that want to be an influencer. This message that we're sharing today is different for them, if we were giving it to them, than it is for the average interior designer that wants to use social media to get clients.
Absolutely.
And we're speaking to the normal interior designer that doesn't want to be an influencer, but just wants to use social media, which is a great tool to market their business.
Right. To become the expert in their field, in their local market.
Right. And so when someone says, I need an interior designer to help I'm redoing my kitchen, who do they think of? And if you're locally, we want them to think of you first. And that's what social media has a potential to do.
It can do for you. Right.
Yep.
If you do it right.
Yep. Another thing that a lot of people in the club struggle is with captions and how to write those captions. That's where people are like, well, I don't want to sound stupid. I don't want to sound dumb. What we want to do is write captions kind of like who we are and how we talk. Like making sure that they're calm, confident, and clear. We don't, sometimes you'll see where people try to be cute and use these metaphors and stuff. If people have to understand or have to think about what you're trying to say, you've lost them. I was on a site yesterday for a consult or a discovery call, and I put it into ChatGPT and I said, can you help me understand what they do? And then, so ChatGPT wrote it out, and I go, well, so am I stupid for not figuring this out? And it said, no, you're a good marketer for them, because if you can't figure it out, nobody else can. And
Perfect.
so that's the same thing. Like, it's okay to take your marketing, what posts you posted, your website, and ask your friends, your family, your colleagues, do they understand who you're getting to and what you're targeting? And is your message clear, confident, and concise, and that they're getting that through there?
Clear, confident, and concise, the 3 C's. We have a question from Marcy, so I put it up on the screen from LinkedIn, which we're streaming onto LinkedIn as well. So how do you address the sheer volume of content out there? It seems views are super low unless you pay. This is a question a lot of people have, and I really don't want any of my interior designers paying for marketing in the beginning until they're doing everything they can do themselves for no money, time versus money. But how would you answer this? Because I have my own version of an answer on this one, but what do you think?
And so if you're following any of the influencer, any of the people that own the platforms, they're all saying right now, 2026 marketing is definitely changing because of the sheer volume of content and the content that is AI. And so, and how real some of the AI is really, it's going to keep looking more and more real. So eventually somebody could take our conversation here and make a video of it and throw it on Instagram someplace, and people won't.
Don't anybody do that. I'll catch you.
But they won't know if it's really you or I or anything. So what we're recommending is like, it's hard to shut out that noise.
Yeah.
But still show up authentic and real, and then engage with your audience. That's the key that necessarily AI can't take from us. So if you can engage with who you want to work with, show up and be authentic, be real, leave comments, follow the people, and try to stay kind of in your marketing bubble, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I also think this is a matter of, there is a tremendous amount of content out there. I agree with Marcy, and it's getting ridiculous. So how do you distinguish yourself? You have to take your personality into consideration. Like Kim is saying, who are you trying to target and what type of messaging connects with them? In my audience, the videos really connect. In most audiences, videos are connecting. So it could be a matter of Marcy has yet to do video, let's say, because she doesn't want to, or it's not her personality, or it's hard for her. She's nervous. And I don't know this for sure, Marcy. I'm just giving some examples for the other people who are listening. And that's very intimidating, right? To not be able to do video, yet video is the thing that's stopping the scroll the most. So isn't it just a matter of getting very creative in the imagery? Like, I did something so simple the other day, and I teach this to my academy designers. If you see a video that's simple, that you feel like I could do that, and I just change the messaging or the words, save it on your phone and then try it. I saw a very simple, the girl literally turned sideways and turned back, and then on the side it said, that's me thinking about blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, I could do that. I took a video of me, took it away, looking back, and then we added some words on the screen, and that was a reel. Like, take inspiration from other people on the simple things you also think you can do. If it stopped the scroll for you, it might stop the scroll for someone who you're trying to reach.
Correct. And one tip, if you are afraid, because designers are afraid to be on video. Yes. So if you're afraid to be on video, could you do like a B-roll video? So the background roll of a design or a living room or wherever you want, put your photo in the corner on the bottom of that video, and then do a voiceover where you're just talking through so people can hear your voice. So that's another way to, anything you can do to distinguish yourself from AI that somebody can't copy. So if that means, you know, if you are, we all like to be camera perfect. We like to have our hair done and our makeup done and stuff like that. Sometimes though, the real and the authentic, bringing people in on that journey, especially like if you're at a site and they're just, you know, they're doing the demo, doing a little walkthrough, just talking through that and sharing it on your stories if you don't want on your feed. That is how you're going to stand out from the crowd.
Yes, definitely. Yes. I just think falling back in love with your marketing means you have to have a little fun with it too.
Of course. Of course.
Right? You got to
Yes.
have a little fun with it. Like, and it's fun for me to try new things. Sometimes when they fail, I don't think it's so fun, but then I try it a couple more times and it works. So I filmed 3 videos yesterday. It took me 6 times. I think people don't know that when they see someone who's experienced on video, they think, well, they must just bang that out easy. No, it still takes a little bit of effort, but not as much once you do it a few times. And that's why your Get It Done Club is so good for everybody, because you're teaching them the simple tools and you're allowing them to practice and come back with questions.
Right. Yes. Yes. And I like that you said, have fun with it, because I fell into this trap is like, I was like very more of a serious person when it was presenting on, but really I'm kind of funny and I do really silly things sometimes.
Right.
And I'm finding that when I share my little silliness is when I resonate best with my audience. And so,
good point.
Right. Don't be afraid. Like if you're a designer and you find inspiration from reading books, like you're a big reader or you love coffee. There's a gal I was listening on video today and she loves coffee. Sharing that makes it real, makes me identify with her. Like, oh man, I like her already because she likes coffee and I like coffee. And so not being like, we want to see your beautiful portfolio images, but they do become lost in that sea. So how can you make it stand out that it's a little bit different? It's you. So what kind of creative can we create that makes it stand out a little bit better?
I'm telling you, this is really like, you definitely want to put out content that tells people what you do for a living and that you're available as the expert when they need you. But putting out things about if you're baking bread, making desserts, gardening, playing pickleball, whatever you're doing, that's the interesting content. That's what stops the scroll, right? Because I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know Kim swam, or she, like, I want to see what you do behind the scenes because I like you and I want to like you more, right? So, and when I use your services, it makes me feel connected to you.
Correct. And it builds that trust because, if you're a poodle owner and I'm a poodle owner, automatically we're going to trust each other because only trustworthy people have poodles.
Right. Whatever your psychology is telling you. Right.
But that trust, the know, like, and trust factor has been key important when I started 10 years ago. And it's even more important now. Like,
oh my God. Yes.
And, and one thing you and I were chatting about before we came online is if you can post happy things, people,
happy is connecting right now, people. Right? You don't want to go into the sea of negativity that is just spreading more negativity. Try to go into the sea of happy, encouraging, optimistic.
If you're a designer and you add a floral centerpiece to a table of a client, take a picture and just say, isn't this a great way to brighten up your day? People love it because it's a reminder that even if I didn't hire you, I could go pick up a bouquet of flowers and brighten up my home.
So funny you said that. I did that yesterday. I just was like, I want flowers in the house. I haven't had a real live plant in the house in a long time, right? It's funny, but yes, that's sharing the behind the scenes and then making sure your business posts are clear as to what you do, who you help, where you're located if you're a local business, like as the designer example. Oops, I keep taking off the wrong things on the screen here. And having fun with your social media again, because fun connects with people and people want people in their house who they enjoy their company. If you're stiff and stodgy and never showing any personality on your social media, I say it's less likely that you get hired by your ideal client.
Correct. Especially on the social platforms, because we forget social is social. Like,
be social on social media.
Yes. Great tool. Yes. Great tool, but let's take away that pressure, offer more clarity and consistency.
All right. Did we miss anything there?
I don't think so. No.
All right. Tell everyone where to find you and a little bit more about your services.
Okay. So you can find me at freshimpactllc.com. We offer full service management, or our favorite love is to teach people how to do it. Is it freshimpactsocialmedia.com?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Either way, you'll find us both places. We make it super simple. Our main focus is we want to make your social media simple and that you do love it. And whether it is full service or helping you through the Get It Done Club, where we meet 3 times a week, have open office hours. I answer your questions. So I'm kind of like your coach, your trainer, your cheerleader, whatever you want me to be.
Just get it done. That's why it's called the Get It Done Club.
Help you get it done and make it simple so that marketing is a piece of your business. It's not all of your business, that you can really do what you're designed to do.
Yes. So if you don't want your marketing, social media marketing particularly, to be your nemesis of your business anymore, join the Get It Done Club. Get into on Kim's calendar at freshimpactsocialmedia.com and learn how to do it simply and sustainably so that you can have the consistency. Because without the consistency, someone's going to go to your social media and go, are they still in business? They don't seem to be posting. Or they're going to look at your social media and go, it looks like shit. And if they can't keep up with their social media, how do I know they're keeping up with their business? Like, I'm afraid to hire them based on what I'm seeing. So we don't ever want that to happen. So make sure your social media is up to date and that you're doing your marketing consistently, and join the Get It Done Club with Kim to make sure you're getting it to the right level in 2026. It's the year that people have to trust you. Otherwise, they're not hiring you.
Right.
Period.
Period. Yep. And hopefully you'll love your marketing so that they will trust you.
Yes. And when you get hired from your marketing, suddenly you love your marketing and you want to do it more.